Only Murders in the Building Season 2 has been confirmed. Here's what we know so far. Only Murders in the Building launched as Hulu's most watched original comedy from its pilot. The comedy mystery stars Gomez, Martin, and Short as a group of true crime detectives who launch a podcast to look into a murder that happened in their very own building, only to find that things are not quite what they seem. The show has proved itself to be an entertaining breath of fresh air in a genre that sometimes takes itself too seriously. So of course, Hulu decided to renew it for a second season. Here's everything you need to know about the second season so far, but before we continue, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. The end of Season 1. Given that Bunny ended the first season lying dead on the floor of Mabel's apartment, we might get to see Jane Hodyshell return to the show to star in the flashbacks. Not to mention the irritated residents who saw our three main characters arrested. We'll definitely see Cinda Canning return, who shows an interest in joining the Arconia podcast ring. Fortunately, productions are going to be happening in New York. We're probably going to get some revealing shots from the set. In the meantime, watch out for clues. We'll have to go to our true crime podcasts and documentaries to keep us going for now. Also, we have out ahead, there are spoilers for Season 1. You've been warned. What about the cast? Considering our favorite group of crime busters was in some trouble at the end of Season 1, and Hulu's release confirms Season 2 will continue to chronicle what happens to them, Martin, Short, and Gomez are all going to come back and resume their roles. They've all got some loose ends to tie. After the Season 2 renewal was announced, Gomez posted on Instagram to share her excitement with fans. She's also a producer on the show. There's also a high chance that guest star Tina Fey will make a comeback. Neither Martin or Short have Instagram profiles, but we're pretty sure they're quite stoked about the new Season 2. When will Season 2 finally arrive? As of yet, we don't have an exact date for when the pilot will be aired, but co-creator Hoffman has already given clues to a fast turnaround. While giving an interview with Queerty, he told us that filming for the new season will start around the end of 2021, hinting that Season 2 could possibly arrive as early as somewhere in the middle of 2022. In fact, the show was such a huge hit that Season 2 was confirmed after only some episodes of Season 1 aired. Only Murders in the Building reflects the kind of creative excellence that is the hallmark of Hulu Originals, was what Craig Erwich, president, ABC Entertainment and Hulu Originals, had to say when asked to voice his opinion on the show. What comes next for our characters? Now that Season 1's finale has come out, we've been left in suspense with an insane cliffhanger and lots of questions about where Season 2 is going to take our characters next. We know Jan, Charles's girlfriend, killed Tim Kono in a fit of anger and jealousy before poisoning Charles too. Luckily, Charles manages to move around the building enough to alert Mabel and Oliver that something is wrong, and the three of them play a part in Jan's arrest. But they don't get much time before the next calamity, which happens when the fire alarm starts blaring, and Charles and Oliver run downstairs to find Mabel in her apartment, where she's on her knees in front of someone's body. She says to them, "It's not what you think," but is she lying? It certainly wouldn't be the first time Mabel's showed anyone that she's less than honest. Still, one of the audience's favorite turning points is a hardened murderer seems a bit much. It's more like other ominous forces are at play, but we won't find out until Season 2 comes out. Our trio finds themselves in a rough spot at the end of Season 1. There were a lot of things that happened involving Bunny in the last days leading up to her death. The producers have also promised that the plot will get even more exciting and fun. There'll be even more pressure on the trio to solve the case because of how events unfold. Theories and predictions. The most major hint about what could go down in Season 2 comes from the text messages Oliver and Charles received at the end of Season 1, in which they were being warned to get out of the building as the police were on their way and getting closer. It was a pretty obvious trick to get them to locate Mabel, so all three of them would be found right next to Bunny's body when the SWAT team arrived, framing them in a way that'd be pretty hard to get out of. Who could have possibly sent those texts? That's why the suspicion surrounding Bunny's murderer swings back around to someone in the building. Maybe someone who accidentally eavesdrops to Mabel saying to Bunny that she's the most disliked woman around. It has to be someone who knows Oliver and Bunny have been fighting for years. Someone who knows Charles was really offended at the meeting when Bunny led a mob to get them removed from the building. Someone who has watched just how how these three work together and can manipulate them easily. The murderer has therefore got to be someone in the building. Detective Williams was in exactly the right place at exactly the right time to arrest our favorite trio at season 1 finale. As someone who worked as an enforcer for them once she began to get along with them, her statement of their Miranda rights almost made us hope that maybe she was on their side. What can we wait for? So as we all know, there were quite a few loose ends left to be addressed at the end of season 1. Of course, the biggest one out of all of these being the murder of Bunny, after which Mabel was regarded with suspicion by police as a prime suspect because she made no secret of her distaste toward Bunny. It also doesn't exactly work in her favor that Bunny was stabbed with a knitting needle and wearing a tie-dyed sweatshirt that was merchandise from their podcast. John Hoffman, one of the co-creators, said during an interview with The Wrap, "There are some loose ends beyond the return to the opening moment of the season. If you go back through this season, there are moments that we have not declared were Jan's doing. The emerald ring that Theo DeMoss was keeping with the intention of taking down the DeMoss family is another massive loose end. What is the importance and history of the ring? And is there another deep reason for his feud with the DeMoss family? Then there's the nasty business with Bunny's murder and the texts that made sure they'd all be found next to her body by the police so it'd look like they were caught red-handed. A lot of questions remain and fans want to know what happened, but there's nothing to worry about. Season 2 will be here soon and all these questions will be addressed. What's next for Selena Gomez? Selena Gomez may be homebound for now, but that hasn't stopped her from pursuing her projects at all. She's been an active part of the industry since she was 7 years old. The ex-Disney star is famous for being a very hard worker. She was an actress and producer on This True Crime Show. What's more, in the past couple of months, she's also produced a cooking show, featured on 2 singles, produced a music video, created a beauty line, and raised her voice about the various injustices in the United States, among other things. People often try to pigeonhole Gomez as a singer or an actor. She's not only that, she's also a model, brand ambassador, entrepreneur, philanthropist, mental health advocate, and a producer. She's spent so much time in the spotlight, but we can't deny her work behind the scenes too. Most Selenators know that she also worked as an executive producer for 13 Reasons Why since the show started. While that is her most famous producing credit to date, it's not her only one. She was also executive producer on the Disney Channel movie special The Wizard's Return, Alex vs. Alex, back in 2013. The special was a spin-off of the Disney show she starred in, Wizards of Waverly Place. In an interview with Variety, she opened about her producing career. She shared that she's learned a lot of things in the previous few years, and the more things she knows, the more confident she feels going ahead with her next job. That knowledge and confidence has let her say yes to more and more projects in recent years. Believe it or not, she was working on 16 projects at the same time during quarantine. That's it for today. Comment below and let us know what you think. What's going to happen in the next season? Will our favorite trio find a way out of this mess and prove their innocence? Who killed Bunny? Before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We hope you enjoyed watching. Until next time, bye!